Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing our top 5 picks on Disney Plus.
At the moment.
At this moment in time.
Yeah.
So it's just 5 things that we've watched and we think that you guys should also watch if you haven't. And just kind of like some of our like favourite stuff that we've watched on there so far.
Or that we've a lot of it's stuff that we've rediscovered.
Yeah, so it's not all brand new films or brand new series, whatever. It's just sort of our top 5 of what we're saying you should watch on Disney Plus. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I kind of zoned out for a minute then, I'm not going to lie.
I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, it'll make sense once you watch it. So if you do like it, hit a thumbs up and smash subscribe down below, and let's get into the video. So the first one we've chosen on Disney Plus is Prop Culture. So if you haven't watched it already, it's basically a series of, I think it's about 8 episodes, and each one's about a completely different film, and it basically takes you into like the history of this film, and it shows you loads of the props that were used in the film, who used them, and like what they were like used for in the films, blah blah blah. And it shows you where they are now, so if people own them,
like collectors, or if they're in the archives.
Or if the people from that film might own it. Yeah,
so there's interviews of people who were actors in the film as well. It's really, really interesting to see. Some of them, like my personal favourite one. So we've both got personal favourites. We've watched not all of the episodes, but select ones. My personal favourite is the first one, which is the Mary Poppins one. Even though it's not my favourite film out of the ones they've covered, it was my favourite episode because I think where it's such an old film, seeing the girl who plays the really little girl, forgive me, I don't even know her name, the really little girl as an adult, as an older lady, seeing the little dress that she wore in the film and the hat and everything, and it gets really emotional, and it really, really did set me like, oh my god, it's so good.
And my personal favourite is the Nightmare Before Christmas one, because it shows you like all the work that went into like a single shot of the film, like not even like a single scene, a single shot.
Yeah,
because obviously it's done in sort of like stop motion. I think that's what it's classed as, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's stop motion it's classed as, and like so every little move, like they just have to slightly, so like the bit when he's like walking up the hill, the way they done that is unbelievable, and actually show you that in there. Yeah,
how they made it, the sizing of everything compared to what you think it would be. It's mad. It's really, really mad.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how much work went into it. So it like makes you appreciate the film a lot more.
This next one is the only other one which is something which is newer. The rest are actually rediscovered. So this one is Frozen 2. If you didn't know that it is now on Disney Plus, it is now on Disney Plus. So we actually saw this in the cinema twice when it came out. I'm a huge, huge, huge Frozen fan. Alex is actually also a massive Frozen fan because you love Olaf and Sven, don't you?
Literally. And in the second one, Olaf is like hilarious.
Yeah, like you think he's funny in the first film. There's a couple of scenes in this film where I was generally like tears coming down my face, like it was so funny.
Yeah.
And I like it because also he's got like, I think where he's not 100% like with it, even though in this he's like coming of age and it's just, I don't know, the kind of adult-y vibes you get.
He's in between being like the sort of kid and becoming an adult, and the way he's like looking at how adults live and how life is going is just really funny.
And I love the soundtrack to the first film. Didn't think they'd be able to get anywhere near it being that good in the second film, and oh my lord did they smash it. It's so good. I love all of the songs, just everything about it. We've watched it again at home since once or twice. It's just 100% worth a watch. And I know a lot of people go, oh, sequels are never as good as the first film, but generally some people, and I'm very on the fence, believe that the second film is better than the first in this case.
Me?
I'm on the fence because I just love everything. I can't even pick my top 3 favourite Disney films because I love everything so much. So, yeah, we highly, highly recommend popping over and watching that one.
Definitely. So next up we have a bit of a throwback film. However, we only recently watched this. I've seen like parts of it, but not like the full film. But recently we got recommended to watch it. Gave it a go and absolutely loved it. And that is Wally. So that's been out since 2008, and we've only watched it in like the last month or so.
12 years too late.
Like And oh my god, like, this is such an underrated film. It's crazy.
Like, I was never really that into... I was never that interested in watching it because I'd never really seen much merch, never really seen him talked about that much. There was never a second one made, so I was never really interested. I was kind of like, it's just a robot, isn't he? Like, it's not really my kind of thing.
Like, he doesn't talk much either. Like, I don't know if that might put people off, maybe, because they'll be like, oh, like a film where there's hardly any talking.
Oh my god, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. The connection that you get with the characters, and there is so much comedy, there's so much emotion. I generally nearly cried at parts of the film. I cry at lots of films, so if it's slightly emotional, I feel it. But we have really, really connected with him, and I generally think he is up there in one of our top few characters. The whole story is so great, and there's a lot of lessons to be learned, I think, from the film.
Definitely,
it's very important, some of the stuff that they cover.
Yeah. So if you don't know the film, like if you haven't seen it like we hadn't, like it's like showing the world as trash. The whole world, all the buildings are built up of this trash, and Wally is effectively like making these buildings because he's compressing all this trash and making it into them. And humans are now living like up in this weird spaceship thing. Yeah. Because they're just led on these seats, all fat and lazy. Yeah.
Like literally after lockdown, basically.
Pretty much. There's like a really strong message in there, but it's 100% in like my top 5 favourite films.
Yeah, and don't be put off by the fact there's not a lot of speech in it, because it is so funny. Yeah. It's probably funnier than some of the films with actual words in it.
100%, yeah.
So if you haven't given it a go, give it a go.
And if you haven't watched it in ages, watch it now.
Yeah, if you have seen it, just go and watch it and give it a little bit of appreciation, because I really feel that it is extremely, extremely underrated. Yeah. So this next one is an even further back throwback.
Take it back now, yo.
I don't actually know what year it was. 2 seconds. 1991 we're taking it back to. So before we were even...
born.
A thought in the world. I really don't know where I'm going with this. I need to finish my coffee. And that is the original Beauty and the Beast. Yeah. So we've mentioned in previous vlogs that Beauty and the Beast has a very special place in our heart. It is one of our favourite princess films, if not our favourite princess film. And the remake is amazing. We do really love it. Like, we're not against all of the remakes at all. It is great. And it did come out on a special date for us and everything, but we always go back to watching the original. The cartoon version of it just has something special, and I think the original songs and soundtrack as well, it's just, I don't know, it gives me some different kind of feeling than the new one. And I love going back and watching it. We have watched it a good few times together, I think.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And you can't really beat an original Disney cartoon. I think a lot of the time when people like enjoy Disney films at the moment, they don't go back quite that far unless you are sort of a person who was around at the time it came out.
Yeah, most people kind of just look for like the newer film, especially because they're being remade. People are just watching these remakes, but if you go back and watch the originals and then watch the remakes, it kind of, you appreciate both so much more.
Yeah, some people will go, oh, the remake is so much better than the original, blah blah blah. But if that's your opinion, great, yeah, okay. Some people may think that the remake is better. I personally don't have an opinion on which one is which. I love them both, but you can see what they've brought from the old film and what they've modernised, and I love seeing how they do that. Yeah. So I really, really recommend going back and watching some of the really old ones. You know the story, you know the characters, just they're really short as well.
Yeah,
so,
like literally what, hour and a half maybe?
Maximum.
Like, probably a little bit less than that.
So yeah, go back and watch it. The original Beauty and the Beast.
So the last thing we have chosen is a series that we both used to watch when we were kids and like just growing up, watched it so much. It was always on Disney Channel, and that is The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Also The Sweet Life on Deck, which is technically separate but the same things.
Like newer
but we've been watching The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody when they're in the hotel. Which we absolutely love. Like, it's a childhood favourite. Like I said, we grew up watching that. brings back like so many like good memories from like years ago.
And you'd think going back and watching them, you wouldn't find it funny because you've already seen it, or it's because it's aimed at children. It's not funny as an adult, but it is still funny as an adult. Yeah. It's still really funny.
And and when you watch it back as well, there's more like grown-up jokes, if you like. Not like as in rudeness or whatever, but there's more jokes you would understand now than as a kid.
You wouldn't have then.
And so there's almost like you're rewatching something brand new, even though you've already seen it.
How am I yawning? I'm drinking coffee.
There's something about this. Whenever we're in we're in our bedroom, that's where we film if you didn't know. And we always end up yawning loads.
I think it's
I've literally just had coffee and Rhi's having a coffee.
We know that sleep happens right there. and we have just had our first few days back at work, so...
First week for me.
I've had
a few days for Rhi. Anyway. Sweet life.
Yes.
We're after that sweet life. But, so we absolutely love it. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. I'd probably say watch The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and then go on to The Sweet Life on Deck, because it is, like, it's them growing up throughout the whole thing as well. So when you get to the On Deck series, they are, like, older. And
it's quite easy to just chuck on in the background as well. It's not one of those you really have to focus on, like...
And because it's a series, it's just short episodes, like... Yeah. But it's still... There is, like, storyline to it.
Yeah, and... I'm sure you'll recognise a load of the people that are in it. Even people that are just in one episode here and there and have cameo roles. Everyone's in this, everybody. And one other thing I wanted to mention quickly. It's not actually on our list. It was kind of tied with Sweet Life, but Alex prefers Sweet Life, so we kind of went for this one. But I have been watching Hannah Montana. Yeah. And a lot of it. That's also on there.
We do both like that. I do prefer Sweet Life, but... There's just so much, like, if you think about all the things you watch when you're younger, if you watch Disney Channel, it's all on Disney Plus.
Phineas and Ferb. We haven't watched that, but that is...
I haven't watched it yet, but...
There's also, I believe, a new Phineas and Ferb film coming out this year. I don't know what's with the finger.
Rude. So that is our top 5 picks for Disney Plus. Again, like, they're not our favourite things. Like, it's not, like, out of everything on there, it's not our top 5 to watch. It's just... our top 5 picks right now of like what we would say to watch, what we're recommending.
Sort of what we've been watching over lockdown that you guys should get in with too.
Yeah, and it's just sort of stuff we grew up watching as well. Yeah. Which we think you guys will love, which you've probably watched as well. So go rewatch it.
Yeah, it's just great having the access to it now, all in one place. Disney Plus is...
And because obviously Disney Channel's going.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it has already, but I saw a thing the other day about Disney Channel is closing. So it's really good that they've got everything from that, or as far as I know everything, and it's now on to Disney Plus. Yeah. So it's even easier to watch.
I mean, you can't beat some of the original films, so yeah, it's great having access to it all.
Exactly. But that is going to be the end of today's video. So if you do like it, hit it with a thumbs up and smash subscribe down below. And if you want to see more like these, just comment as well. We like doing them, so if you want to see more, we will do more.
Exactly.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Mwah. Toodles.
Toodaloo. La 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 la.